the liminal um, side of the brain through a certain kind of telepathic, and we have that ability as well. I mean, we're made up of water, and water water communicates with itself instantaneously, and so somewhere along the line we kind of disconnected from that form of communication. But I know we're going back there. And I think all the little things that are getting us there, like the internet, like the cell phones, these are all little like objects that are symbolizing.
Right. Which is a great point to point out to people, is they think more and more our technology is going to get more and more advanced. And from what I'm hearing you saying and what I feel myself too, is that actually the technology will, in many cases, will disappear.
Yeah. Because
we will remember that we can communicate just instantaneously. I can instant message you from mind to mind, you know.
I think it's interesting to think about. This was brought up with a very dear friend of mine, Jim Shannon, who is the head of the New Earth Army, or the First Earth Battalion. The fascinating concepts, and if you don't know who Jim Shannon is, please look him up on YouTube. There are lots of videos. But we were talking about this just recently, how the etiquette of telepathic communication. And I thought that was just a fascinating thought to think about, you know, because when there is no censorship in terms of you know, when it's all open, that opens up a lot, you know, when we can see into each other's.
Yeah, you have to be. Yeah, you need to be etiquette, and then you have to also realize if you can read thoughts, they can hear your thoughts too. So as your telepathy increases, be aware that you're going to be broadcasting at all times. So that's a good reason to have a clear mind.
A clear mind, but I think it's accepting yourself, and then really getting in touch with what is your truth? What are you wanting to express and teach the world? What are you here for? And being honest, you know, really, really honest with what is your message? What is your mission? What is your desire?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So as we talk about telepathy and tipping, well, we're on the tipping point, but we're going to go to anomaly. Now I have a whole new understanding of anomaly because I was trained a different way with the word. The magic. So
the magic of the planet, basically, of existence, is a very scientific, and I didn't know this before either. I was very blessed with my dear partner Matteo helping me name all these paintings, which I think is so exciting, because I like to know, like, well, what are they really? I don't know. Can you tell me? And then we'll figure it out together. And so the anomaly point is this point 4 degrees Celsius, where water freezes, where it expands. And this is something that I guess isn't really able to, like, people don't know why. Science hasn't figured out necessarily why it does this, right? It does it, and it allows for us to flourish on this planet and life to flourish.
Right.
And so that's fascinating.
Well, and it's fascinating for me, as I explained to you earlier, is that in architecture school we used it so if we were using symmetrical patterns, even sacred geometries, could throw in one thing that did not fit the pattern, and that was the anomaly. But when you look at this painting, you see how symmetrical, and it's infinite.
Yeah.
And I guess if you have an anomaly, it is infinite, because you can always throw in some random thing, and you know, of course, a pattern can keep going, but you have infinite options to keep adding those anomalies.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the thing is also, this is something to mention with my paintings, they're also, as symmetrical as they are, they're not symmetrical.
Right.
And that's just like us, because people ask me all the time if I use like a pattern, you know, if I trace one side and then kind of put on the other, and I don't. If you really look at them, none of them are like that.
Yeah.
None of them are symmetrical.
Yeah. I'm like taking them in right now. Definitely not. No, that one's totally a different shape.
And so the adventure with it, though, for me, is finding the harmony. Mm-hmm. So I'm constantly, as I'm painting, constantly looking for the balance, but not looking for the perfection of reproduction.
Right.
Because every new thing that comes out of me is unique. Just the same, every new word and thought ultimately that comes out of us is in some way or shape or fashion new, because it's based on an extended experience from this or that, or you're in a new space, or you're realizing something in a new way.
Right.
It's all unique.
Definitely.
Everything on this planet is unique.
Yeah. Just like when you give birth to a child, it's unique. Everyone's different. If you have siblings or witnessed other relations, and we're all very unique.
Wow. I mean, it's just such an amazing museum of creation, this planet. It's so exquisite.
It is. I love it. I love humanity. That's my phrase. I love humanity. It's just
and nature.
Nature too, Mother Nature. This painting, and I'm now forgetting what was.
I don't know. We had something with verdict in here, and I'm not quite sure yet either about like the name of it yet, because it's very much. It has to do with the really base skeleton form of the water molecule and of creation in a sense, which is the 6 points, which is the balance of the feminine and the masculine, and so many of the two pyramids,
right?
The up and the down, right? And I see it as being kind of a pattern, blueprint of existence in a sense. And it's kind of like this birthing. I mean, birthing, of course, the egg in the center, but that has nothing in it. You know, it's kind of this blank, open force. But these kind of identical patterns coming off of it with the eyes. I don't quite know what's going on here yet, but it's
really powerful, and it's actually morphing. Like from when we first started talking about it, and now it's taking on this whole new dimension for me, and I'm actually harmonically feeling it in my body.
Yeah.
So it's a really powerful painting. So I think its resonance is shifting. I don't know. It's shifting for me, and it's really. So when you talk about two things I was thinking of asking you is one, masculine and feminine, the balancing between the two, bringing harmony back into the planet. If you could speak to it from your own experience, and then how you've expressed it in your work or your life.
Well, I think in general we could all agree that balancing is where is a nice, healthy kind of place to be in once you're balanced. You know, you're not on one extreme or the other. Or that would be the goal, I think, for many in terms of psychological or nutrition or to be in a balanced lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And I think we can find the balance of the masculine and the feminine in ourselves, in our lives. And it's necessary to kind of reflect. There's no extreme direction. You know, when we've been experiencing a couple thousand years plus of patriarchal societies, it doesn't mean that we need to go in the extreme other direction of the matriarchal.
Right.
But now more than ever, it's about coming together of the two in a harmonious kind of relationship. That's my quacking duck.
And the duck concurs.
I like ducks. So I feel like to seek out that balance, you know, some of us have an experience or a history of one being stronger than the other, masculine or feminine in ourselves, and finding ways to balance out the whatever we're lacking. I mean, same thing in nutrition.
Right.
Food is very important. Medicine. Mm-hmm. It is a medicine that we're putting into our bodies. And if we become more conscious of what we're eating, the people we're surrounding ourselves with, it will play a big role on our experience.
Definitely. Connecting back to the whole system.
Yeah, whole system. Yeah, I get it. There's no need for us to be eating lots of processed food that is dead.
Yeah.
it's not conducive to our...
I can't even go into a regular grocery store or whatever that means, but you know what I mean, where there's just, it's all boxed and packaged.
No, there's you can still find stuff in there. You know, you can find raisins and nuts and
vegetables. I just get sad.
Yeah,
I actually get sad.
It is. It is. But these are the people that I want to talk to.
Right.
You know, I would love to see art and
that would be beautiful.
All of these things to be in a, you know, there's no commitment to any dogma.
Yep.
You know, it's all about just feeling good.
Right.
And
that would be beautiful. Well, I would love to see one of your paintings on the floor versus, you know, whatever brand might be advertising combined in with some pop culture.
Maybe we can also connect more with advertising.
I think that you just inspired something.
Because I don't mind, you know, as long as it's something, a company. I mean, this is what I tell people. I am open to any form of reproduction of things as long as the intention and the integrity behind.
Well, that's the beauty is that what we can do with the transformation. You come from a culture, pop culture, where they've used certain mechanisms to create a consuming society quite systematically. So we can use the same technology, the same methodology to create a more harmonious society with a different outcome. So it's kind of exciting. So
I mean, I've definitely experienced there being through an image, you know, painting live. When I've painted live before, the experience that some people will tell me after them spending time watching and being a part of it, of what it awakens in them with tears in their eyes. And, you know, I feel like I can go home and pick up the brush again after not touching the paintbrush for 10 years. And that empowerment is what I'm interested in.
Right.
Empowering individuals.
So inspiration, you're inspiring. And how do you encourage other people to inspire each other?
Inspire each other. Be an interesting person. Be interested in things. Be interested in learning. And I think when you open up those gateways of not just talking about what you know, but being curious, you know, you will attract to yourself so many amazing experiences and wealth of knowledge that you can continue to share, of course. But I think opening up outside of just our realms of who we think we are and what we think is right, then we can really, you know, it's a multidimensional reality existence that we live in. And I think that is what is becoming apparent. And if you want to resist it, you can resist it. But I think that's the more uncomfortable path.
Yeah. Potentially, yes.
Potentially. I mean, right now we're still, I mean, I just really, just in a very, very, you know, real, something you can touch and feel, this planet needs just the food, just our fundamental needs of water, clean air, and good food.
Yep.
You know, if we just focus on those things,
right,
you know, we would start healing.
Definitely.
Healing our bodies and the planet. Yeah.
Thank you. I love the reminders you're sharing. And one last question, because I want to share, like from a woman to a woman, how women can embrace each other, because as we are shifting and as we're balancing out, there is the possibility of going to another extreme. And I think it's my vision to really honor and nurture both male and female, but really encourage women to open up their hearts to each other and come together as a tribe. So if you can share your view on that or words of wisdom.
I am greatly empowered to be around empowered women and women that have become self-realized in a sense of their gifts and their nurturing and very introspective, creative selves. I think we have so much to share together in communities where we can be a voice that is from many, and we all have gifts to share. And I think women have this kind of more of a inclusive, sharing nature.
Mm-hmm.